Good morning, welcome to a morning review. This is Kim speaking on Friday, the 6th of January. Okay, looking at the Eurodollar first, and well, where we are, we followed through sort of almost pivot swing position through a full day, positive day yesterday. I said full positive day, but ended up positive yesterday after a morning sell. But we're now in an in-between area as it is. Really could do it just pulling back a little bit further, as I'll show you in a moment, but we're getting close to that daily 50, and that's really the focus maybe today, is see if we can push up to that sort of area. However, I've got to be a bit patient first, and that's not to say it will definitely go there immediately. Like yesterday, we ran up towards the monthly pivot. Looked like almost a sure bet at one stage, and then of course it just rolled over very, very quickly. But today, fortunately, the trading was through the normal session. We've had a pretty normal Asian session here. What I'm looking for really is to see if we can touch this daily pivot. Now, if it touches it and bounces, fine. I'll be looking more on the long side for the daily 50. If it breaks that daily pivot or stalls too long, I may even be looking for some downside. The problem with the downside, of course, is the fact that there's moving averages coming up behind, which may provide support. That said, break of the 34, which is a softer target, but a break of that may see us coming back then down towards the hourly 50. At the moment, we're finding support around these 21, 60, 21, and that may be sufficient to hold up, but I would imagine we'll pull off towards that daily pivot at some point. We're so close. Okay, cable. Cable's air kissed the monthly pivot yesterday, didn't quite get up there. It's been pretty close to it through the Asian session, early points. Actually, it wasn't it's all yesterday. It looks like it was today it was running back up there on this candle, but there we are. It's anyway selling off at the moment. There's still a chance of it going back up towards that monthly pivot, and we'll just have to watch out where we are at the moment. This has already come back to its daily pivot. Now it's a similar case here. Is it going to hold up here, or is it going to sell off towards the 50, maybe the 50, 34, 50 sort of region? It's just what I'm looking at. It has put lower highs in effectively. Just on that daily candle, actually the reason why it's showing that it's run up, it's actually on the C signal. It shows the 11 o'clock candle as being part of the daily, the new day. So unfortunately, it's one of its odd traits, but there you go. It's put a bit of a funny old move in there. However, it calculates the pivots all correctly, but just throws in a bit of a wobbly. So that's why we got that today's candle looking a little bit like it's tried to run up. Anyway, that's irrelevant. The most relevant bit is it's put a lower high and it failed to break up at that point. Okay, it's probably had its reaction to that, but it's whether or not now we're going to break this pivot area and carry on south towards the 50, or whether it's going to maintain some support here. And maybe if it starts breaking the 60-minute 8, well, then we could be up for another shove to the upside. Dollar yen. Well, dollar yen took a while, but then sold off, got off towards that 34, broke the pivot into the 34. Took a bit of time over that. Bit of a meal of it really. Came back to its weekly S2 pivot, and it's bounced from that sort of region with a bit of divergence. Now, where we're seeing it sitting at the moment, this may be showing us the signal of what may happen. Again, this change, it did a slightly different thing. It diverged on the hourlies here. It's pushed up, hit the daily pivot, but broken its daily pivot. So it's showing the weakness of the Japanese yen. And we've already broken through the 34, and it's pretty much heading for the 50. So if this is a sign of things to come, we could well see it happen on the pound and in the euro, but obviously inverted. But at the moment, it would look like it's on for that 50 MA. 50 may provide resistance, and it'll be first touched for a while at least It was touched back a couple of days ago, but it may provide sufficient resistance to see us coming back south again. Safest way maybe to trade that would be to wait, not necessarily sell it into the 50, but just wait for a trend change here and look for the breaks and or moves through that break and retracements from that, selling south, but also short selling. But at the moment, looking like it's on for that 50. Aussie dollar, good news, best trade balance for a long time here, and it's it's not really reflecting it. Anyway, it's broken. It's pushed through the monthly pivot through to 34. At the moment, it's just selling back a little bit here, and well, again, potential to follow through a little bit more. We've broken through the 50 here, through the 34, so a similar picture to what we're seeing across the markets, either inverted in the case of the dollar yen or the same as the pound, the euro. The only thing is it's come back that little bit further and looks like really well. Maybe it wants to come back for that 50 MA. So similar picture. We've got good correlation going on. Canadian dollar, well, again benefited yesterday, seeing the benefit of oil coming through a little bit weaker dollar, and it's pushed down further. A little bit different in the overall picture here. Well, actually, it's not too different. It's the same. So the only thing is, it's again like the yen. It's through the pivot, not quite through the 34, but looking like it wants to head up towards the 50. So strong correlations through the markets. My preference, in a sense, would be well, I'd prefer trading the euro and the pound. Would like to see what happens with the euro here. If it starts selling off, well, based on what we're seeing elsewhere, well, we could see it running back down towards that 50 relatively. We certainly through the 34, and same with the pound. It sort of the pound probably looks marginally, well, certainly looks a bit weak. Already hit the daily pivot. So if this starts seeing selling off, maybe looking more towards that short side this morning to start with, but keeping my mind open to any change of direction. Okay, news-wise today, there's no real news until, of course, the 1:30 data. We've got the employment figures coming out from Canada and the non-farms from the US. So I wouldn't be too surprised if we see a consolidation and a bit of sideward action through the morning sort of sessions, but hopefully we'll get some volatility out this afternoon. That's it for me. Have a great day. Bye for now.